I'm James. I'm the company manager and the roustabout in the show. I also play a little bit of music.
He's the harp player.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Chelsea, and I play Huck Finn and a couple other things.
I am Chanel. I play all the other things. And Jim.
And I am Eric. I was the playwright for this piece, and I am also lucky enough to be able to play music for it. Music became an integral part of trying to explore this piece. So we've chosen mostly songs from the 19th century to support and kind of rise the action and the tension in the piece. The idea is that the music is kind of a fourth voice in the storytelling process. We have a couple of spirituals that we use. There's a song that we found from a group called the Carolina Chocolate Drops, which is an old minstrel song. And then there's original themes and things that we've just sort of improvised.
So I learned how to play a banjo 2 weeks ago. I got a guitar for Christmas, and it was kind of hard to work, but everybody else had their string instruments. And I was trying to figure it out on guitar. And then Eric, who is a musical genius, was like, why don't you try this song on a banjo? And then me and banjo fell in love. And so once the tour opens, I would have been playing banjo for 3 weeks.
Excellent. But she excels at it.
She's rocking.
Got it. She's got it.
It's crazy.
And Chelsea's great on the guitar too.
Yeah, I've owned that guitar for like 12 years and never really used it. I mean, other than at home just messing around. And finally I'm learning how to actually play it.
So
Cool.
because they were so good at this, we also decided to embrace music as a pre-show.
I think the great thing about this play is while we're going to schools and kind of gearing it towards middle school, that everyone can enjoy this show. I think people who come, any age group that comes to the libraries to see it will enjoy it. It is not a children's show. It is a family-friendly story. And I think that's really going to be evident in how people feel when they leave.
We kind of focus on Huck and Jim's relationship and the journey that they take together, which is really cool. Like, I think we start right off basically with them meeting. It starts right there, and it just kind of goes through probably about half of the book.
So there's two things that I was really excited about with this production and this approach to the piece. And the first is that Lisa and the wonderful folks at Great Lakes Theater Festival also embrace this idea of thinking outside the box with regards to casting. So Huck and Jim are like the center of this novel, but they're also sort of, this novel, right from its inception, was a controversial piece, partially because of the language that was used in the novel and partially because of the subject matter. There's a young Caucasian boy and an enslaved African-American man who become kind of family of sorts. That brings up all kinds of issues in American culture. So I thought it would be a neat idea to think outside the box and sort of break away whatever conceptions and misconceptions we might have about those two characters. And it seemed like the most obvious way and the most exciting way would be to go even farther and go outside of gender preconceptions. And so we've been blessed by these two wonderful actresses who then take on the characters of Jim and Huck and all the other characters that come into the story. And that way, their creation of the two characters encourages us to use our imagination to kind of create our own versions of Huck and Jim.
Smooth. I mean, we're lucky because these two are actually roommates, which is best friends. So that was a nice little. That was easy. I mean, I don't know. I feel like we just kind of walked in and started getting it done, and we never questioned it. And we all seem to be relatively positive people, and That's nice.
And James is like the tour expert. He's been doing this for years, so I trust whatever he says.
That makes it run smoothly.
It's a nice balance of energies. It works. It's a good group.
Our talented director, Lisa Ortenzi, right, started off our first rehearsal encouraging us to think of this as a collaboration, and so it really has been a collaboration on all levels.
I'm obsessed with board games. That's what I do outside of theater. I like sports ball I like watching sports ball, but there's just something a little delicious about slaughtering your friends in Monopoly and Settlers of Catan. So that's what I like to do.
Yeah, we like host board game parties, like
Yeah. Just
like adults.
Play werewolf. Yeah, because we're children trapped in adult bodies.
Yep. Absolutely.
I don't know. I used to have a lot of hobbies, and lately it's just been mostly work and theater and listening to music and dancing alone at home.
James is our local MacGyver, so he
Yes.
created there's a whole bunch of little contraptions that he's created
Yes.
to make the special sounds and things that he does in this production. So I'm sure I have every reason to believe that in his house he has all kinds of little contraptions that he's not telling us about. I think of it as a cartoon, like he wakes up and pulls a lever and a coffee comes down.
It's not entirely inaccurate.
Sister Rosetta Tharpe. So I'm a part of a couple of bands too, and one of them is with these two wonderful artists, Tina Stump and Billy Hoffman, and we just were performing some of Sister Rosetta's pieces. So I've been doing a lot of listening to Sister Rosetta Tharpe, and she's pretty amazing. Well, we've already learned a Beyonce song.
Yeah, Beyonce and Dixie
Yeah.
Chicks. Yep.
On the banjo?
Yeah.
And the
There's
banjo.
a song called Daddy Lessons.
The HUCK FINN Band!
That's about an hour, I'd say. And then we hope that in some places we'll be able to have a talk back afterwards and have a discussion about how the show affected whoever was watching it, the audience, and what they were thinking, and if we have any questions about it, we might ask them questions and let them answer them. I have discovered my inner 12-year-old boy. I find myself like being very Huck-like in regular life and doing things that Chelsea normally does, and then I'm like, Huck does that too. That's an interesting discovery. I don't know about you.
This has been a very safe place to play. And a lot of what has come out of this production has been just being as silly and as open and as free as possible, which is a gift, I believe, in rehearsal that you don't always get. So it's been playtime.
There's
really.
so much play.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a playground, and then,
A moving,
imagination.
like, breathing playground.
yeah. We're literally playing pretend for an hour. I want them to sit down for an hour and just be invited into this world and take this journey and feel like they are part of the journey of Huck and Jim. I think that's really important. We're on this raft down the river. There's no water, so I hope they see that water. I hope that the sound effects can create the emotions that are within me during the show. I hope that they can kind of feel that too and walk away and feel like they got to take a break from life for a second and just watch a story happen.
I think that sometimes when we go to see a play, we expect a lot of magic and spectacle, and there are fireworks and the dragon breathes smoke, and Huck Finn is a chance just to listen to a really good story told by some really awesome storytellers with things that you probably have in your living room, like washboards and guitars, and anyone can tell a story. So let's tell a good one together. You'll find friends in the most unusual places. Every day can be an adventure if you look at it that way.
Yeah. And follow your heart. Follow what you think is right. Don't let other people tell you what is right. You decide that for yourself. And I think that's really important.